What's up guys, Justin Greenwald here with 65drums.com. Today I'm going to talk about how to not go broke when buying electronic drum gear. It can happen really easily. So these are just some tips that I've got because I don't have a ton of money, but I can afford to get really good drum gear when I absolutely need to. So the first tip, which 90% of you should always follow, is buy used electronic drum gear. But it has to be from reputable drum manufacturers that are like famous for durable stuff. So in the case of electronic drums, if you're going to buy used, please go buy used Roland or Yamaha drum sets. Alesis drum sets don't have the greatest reputation for durability sometimes. Not all the time, but it's just generally safer to buy a Roland or Yamaha used electronic drum set. And you'll save a lot of money when you buy used. I always give this example, but I got my Roland TD30K back when it used to cost $4,500. I got it for $3,800 off of eBay. And here's the thing, it wasn't even really used. It was only 30 days old. It was a 30-day return. And I saved hundreds of dollars buying it off of eBay as a 30-day return. I recommend you do that sort of thing. Do that even with stuff like kick pedals. Stuff like that. If you need a snare stand, go buy it used. Now, of course, this advice doesn't apply to everyone. There are literally guys that will walk into Guitar Center, just walk up to the counter and say to the clerk, yeah, can I get a Roland TD50 KV, the optional kick drum conversion kit, throw an Octapad there, that $100 drum rug over there, I need that, a rock and sock drum throne, a trick double kick pedal, a few boxes of drumsticks, that would be nice. A couple of extra 14-inch Roland cymbals, a couple of bar triggers from Roland. Do you have any like cool lighting that I could point at my drum set? Maybe a fog machine. What's the total? Oh, 10 grand? Perfect. There are some guys that can literally go to the music store and order all of that and not break a sweat on their bank account. And for those guys, I applaud you. I want to play your drum set one day because that is awesome. And how do I know these guys exist? Well, for one, sometimes they're in the comments of my videos. And two, all you got to do is go on eBay and search used Roland drum set and then set the filter to highest priced first. Your eyes will be opened to some of the setups these guys have. But for most of us, for 99% of us, we need to be careful with our money. So buying used is a great way to save a lot of money. The next tip to not going broke when buying an electronic drum set or just drum gear in general is to buy according to your skill range. If you are a beginner drummer, why are you out there shopping for a TD25 electronic drum set? Why are you thinking about spending thousands and thousands of dollars on drum gear if you're a beginner? Now, I'm not going to try to stop you. It's cool to have awesome gear. But if you want to save money, don't think that by buying a great drum set now, you'll save money later. You don't actually know how long you'll take drumming seriously. So by buying like a $2,000 drum set when you're still at the $800 drum skill range, it's not really the greatest of ideas. We all know that one guy that went golfing and he'd never played golf before, went on the driving range once, suddenly loved golfing, ran to the store, spent $1,000 on golf clubs, and it took him 2 or 3 years to finally become good enough to actually merit buying those golf clubs. That type of a thing. Just because you are really passionate about your drum set doesn't mean you need to spend all kinds of money. My advice is just to buy a kit that's at your skill level right now. So let me break down the price categories from intermediate, beginner, and expert. So for beginner, I would say that's like the $300 to $800 range. So that's like the Alesis Nitro, the Alesis 4s, the Alesis Command, the Roland TD 4KP, the Roland TD 1K. Yamaha has some drum sets in that price range. Those are for beginners. Now, of course, if you are an expert drummer and you just don't have the budget to buy a nice, expensive electronic drum set, nothing but love for you. I'm not trying to hate on you. It's just that most of the time when you buy a drum set in that price range, it's because you're a beginner. Now, for intermediates, you'd go from like $900 all the way up to like, let's say the $1,700 price point. So that's like the Alesis Crimson, the Roland TD11, the Roland TD11KV, the Alesis DM10X, drum sets like that. They're all like intermediate range. The sounds are good enough but it's not really pro level. Now, of course, again, not everyone can afford to spend $2,000 on a drum set, and I'm not trying to convince you to spend $2,000 on your drum set. I'm just saying these are like the skill range price levels. Electronic drums sometimes can be more expensive than acoustic drums. Let's go on to the expert or extreme hobbyist price level. And that would be like the $2,000 to about, what is it now, $8,000, that price range. Those are all pro level or extreme hobbyist level electronic drum sets. So in that price range, you've got the Roland TD25 line, the Roland TD30 line, the Roland TD50 line, the Yamaha DTX 950K 2-box, stuff like that. Those are all pro level electronic drums or extreme hobbyist level electronic drums. So a good way to save money is to not buy a drum set like that until your skills have improved to be actually able to use that gear well. My next tip that will save you a ton of money when buying electronic drums is to research, research, research. Don't just watch my videos or just watch someone else's videos and say, got it, I'm buying that drum set. If you're going to drop $1,000 on a drum set, you need to read reviews and more reviews and more reviews. You need to go watch kit examples. You need to try to play it in person, because buying the wrong drum set can just waste a ton of money. So let's say, for example, you saw this $800 drum set made by, I don't know, some company. And you heard some iffy things about it, but the price was right. It looked great. It felt good when you played it for 5 minutes at a store, and you go out and buy it. You didn't read enough reviews on it, and now when you finally get it home, you realize this is not the drum set for you. If you'd only spent an extra $100 or an extra $200, whatever, or if you'd even stepped down to a different drum set that was slightly cheaper, something a little more in line with what you were going for, you would have had a better drum set. But because you didn't read the reviews, now you've got to sell this one, and now that you've lost the couple of $100, now you have to go buy a different drum set. If you just read a lot of reviews and really research, you'll buy one kit and it will be the right kit for you the first time, and you won't waste all of that time and have to buy 2 drum sets to try to find the drum set that was right for you. This goes for kick pedals, this goes for a lot of different pieces of gear, even like cymbals. So just do the research and you'll save a lot of time and money because you'll get the right drum set the first time. My next tip is you don't necessarily need to sell your electronic drum set and buy a better version. You can upgrade the components individually. For me, the most important thing is sound. This isn't the same for everyone. Some people need really large, really cool looking electronic drums, and that's fine. I love that type of thing too. But the most important thing for me is the sound. That's why I bought the Roland TD30K, because at the time it was the most awesome sounding drum module out there. So that's why I bought it. I guess 2-box was out at the time, but their drum set was orange and I just didn't want to go with that. But yeah, you know what I mean. Sound for me is really, really important. So for example, if I had a Roland TD11 drum set and I finally outgrew it, I needed something a little bit better, I could sell it on eBay and go like, buy a TD25 or a Roland TD30K, or in that case, I could just buy a better drum module, since that's the thing that would affect me the most. You need to find the thing that really is important to you. Maybe the snare is the most important part of your drum set, and just by spending $200 and buying a used snare off eBay, that would really increase the vibe of your entire drum set for you. Maybe do that. You need to find out what is most important for you. But it's cheaper just to upgrade individual components. You won't go broke as fast if you're just upgrading a cymbal here and a tom there, that type of a thing. And the last tip is probably the most important one of all. Maybe you should just put your wallet away and not buy anything at all, because sometimes we can get addicted to gear. I actually made a whole video on this. It's easy to just think, oh, I could just become so better if I only had this drum set, or if I only had this drum software, yada, yada, yada. You know how your sound could really improve? If you got your behind on a drum stool and started practicing for an hour a day. That's what I did when I first started drumming. An hour a day, I would be on my drum set practicing every day, 5 days a week. And luckily, I came from a family of musicians, and they're all okay with me playing acoustic or electronic drums. But yeah, practicing will give you a much better sound than dropping thousands of dollars on really cool drum gear. I'm not kidding at all. especially the beginner drummers, it's really easy to think that it's the gear's fault, that you aren't awesome. If only I could buy this drum set, I would be that much closer to being Neil Peart. Well, not really. Practicing will get you a lot farther than buying a better kick drum pedal or a better snare. So I'm not trying to tell you never to buy new gear, but sometimes if you can't afford it, but you just are all gung-ho to go and buy this new drum set, take a step back and think to yourself, do I actually need this drum set, or am I just trying to just get away from the fact that I need to practice more? So just keep that in the back of your mind. Just to summarize it, buy used, try to upgrade piece by piece if you need to save money, try to buy the right gear the first time, and then maybe just question whether or not you need to buy new gear at all. That's the best way to save money. Hope this video helped. I try to make a new video about electronic drums 1 to 2 times a week. Subscribe for notifications so you can keep on top of all those new videos. If you want to support this channel, give this video a like. It really helps me out. And I will see you guys next week.